data. And when you do that, not only are you on soft ground statistically, but you're on very soft ground interpretively. Together, all of these 4 challenges say experiments of the kinds that I was trained to do are great for one thing: telling the differences between groups, determining whether a treatment works on average. But it cannot tell me what you do or what you do or what you do. And that's what I want to know. So how are we going to do that? Let's extend the paradigm. Where does the model of self-regulating learning tell us to look? How can we operationalize cognition and motivation? And how can we develop a fuller account of this relationship between operations and the bits of information to which they're applied? So I say trace. And let me give you, I've given you an example of trace already, highlighting. Every time you highlight or underline, I can say with, I think, quite solid reliability that you've made a discrimination between the information you've highlighted and the information that you didn't. I don't know what standards you use to determine what you highlight and what you don't, but if I had lots of highlights, I might be able to figure that out. So what I want to do is find out, does this operation lead to, for instance, learning particular bits of information? So I want to investigate that for every person, for every bit of information that they apply. So what I need to do is identify bits of information the learner must know to succeed on the test or in the paper or the lab report or whatever the dependent variable is in my research. And I need to trace the operations that are applied to that information, things like highlighting. Maybe you can see where this is going relative to end study. Things like tagging, things like making notes, things like linking notes together, things like unlinking notes, things like bookmarking a website. I'll have a longer list in a minute. Traces are what are called accretion data, a very famous book published back in the late 1960s.